We are counting down 10 Florida facts that prove the Sunshine State is stranger, darker, and more epic than the postcards. And the last one will change how you see the map forever. Bring sunscreen, curiosity, and a little respect. Florida demands all three. 10. Man-made mermaids since 1947. Picture a spring so clear you can see sand sparkle 30 feet down. At Weeki Wachee Springs, a visionary Navy frogman named Newt Perry carved an underwater theater into the limestone and set thick glass windows right into the rock. He trained performers to sip air from hidden hoses and smile while holding their breath, to drink sodas underwater, to eat bananas without bubbles giving away the trick. In the 1950s and 60s, the mermaids were national celebrities, newsreels, road trippers, even Elvis stopped by. The spring itself pumps out more than 100 million gallons of emerald water a day, a natural spotlight that never burns out. This matters because it proves Florida showmanship ran on natural magic long before castle fireworks and roller coasters. Spectacle powered by geology and grit. 9. Lightning capital of the United States. There's a stretch of sky between Tampa Bay and Orlando locals called Lightning Alley. In summer, sea breezes from the Gulf and Atlantic collide like cymbals right over the peninsula, and clouds tower into anvil-topped cities. Florida racks up more than 100 thunderstorm days a year and leads the nation in lightning fatalities. You learn the signs: the strange green tint to the clouds, the prickle on your forearms, the sharp scent of ozone. One rumble too close and the ball field's clear like a drill. The rule here is 30/30. If the time between flash and boom is under 30 seconds, you're inside. And you wait 30 minutes after the last thunder to head back out. This matters because Florida weather is not just a mood. It is a survival skill that sets schedules, stops games, and rewrites plans faster than a push alert. 8. Gators and Crocs share the same water. Only in South Florida do American alligators and American crocodiles overlap, salt-friendly Crocs with narrow, pale V-shaped snouts gliding the mangrove edges, and darker, broad-snouted gators mastering the fresh sloughs. In the Everglades, a shallow, slow-moving river, more like a wet prairie, mixes fresh and brackish just enough to host both. 1 million-plus alligators patrol lakes and golf course ponds. Fewer than 2,000 American crocodiles remain in the U.S., nesting in warm canals near Florida Bay and even thriving along the cooling canals of Turkey Point. Night on the water hums with predators, the boom of gator bellows, the ghost-silent glide of a python, the shadow of a panther skirting a tree island. This matters because Florida is not a cartoon swamp. It is a living laboratory where edges blur, boundaries dissolve, and nature writes the rules in water and teeth. 7. The python invasion that rewired the food chain. A handful of pet Burmese pythons released and escaped into South Florida in the late 20th century became tens of thousands of apex constrictors. In parts of the Everglades, small mammals, raccoons, marsh rabbits, opossums crashed by more than 90%. Pythons eat rabbits, deer, bobcats, and young gators. Giant females carry clutches of 50 to 100 eggs. Florida fights back with sanctioned hunts, nighttime airboat patrols, detector dogs, cash bounties, and world record headlines that feel like fish tales until you see the photos. This matters because one bad decision multiplied into a stealth predator that redrafted an entire ecosystem's balance and proved that what we import for novelty can export chaos for decades. 6. Why Florida Man exists. The meme is not proof that Floridians are uniquely strange. It exists because of radical sunshine. Florida's public records laws make arrest reports open by default. Reporters don't need to pry leaks. They type, request, and receive. Every state has bizarre arrests. Florida simply lets you read about them. The same laws let you inspect water quality data, budgets, and even officials' text messages. Transparency creates headlines, and headlines shape reputations. The real story is how open records expose everything, the good, the bad, the unbelievable, and give citizens the receipts. The strangest fact is still coming. 5. The Magic Kingdom is a city in disguise. Walt Disney World quietly spans about 25,000 acres, roughly the size of San Francisco, stitched together from swamp and ranch land under a web of shell companies. In 1967, the state created the Reedy Creek Improvement District, empowering Disney to act like its own municipality, build roads, lay power and water lines, run wastewater plants, fight fires, levy assessments, manage lakes. Two paper towns, Bay Lake and Lake Buena Vista, exist on the map inside the property. Beneath the Magic Kingdom, a whole other city hums, a lattice of utilidors where cast members crisscross, and trash flies by in pneumatic tubes, and parades start before you ever hear the drums. This matters because it shows how vision, money, and legal architecture can fabricate a world and then operate it with the logic of a municipality. 4. The building that makes its own weather. The Vehicle Assembly Building at Kennedy Space Center doesn't just loom, it swallows horizon. It rises more than 500 feet. It encloses over 100 million cubic feet of air, so much volume that, on muggy days, clouds once formed inside and rained. NASA installed thousands of tons of air conditioning to stop the indoor drizzle. The VAB's doors are the tallest on Earth, sliding open to 456 feet so rockets can roll out. The American flag painted on its side is 21 stories tall. Each star is taller than a person, each stripe wider than a two-lane road. Inside, the Saturn V stood end-to-end like a skyscraper lying on tiptoe, the space shuttle stacked on its orange tank, and now Artemis rockets rise in the same cavern. This matters because it is a cathedral to human ambition, steel, paint, and precision, built to stand rockets upright and bend gravity to our will. 3. Why rockets launch from Florida. Spin a globe. The closer you launch to the equator, the faster Earth's rotation flings you east. At Cape Canaveral's latitude, physics hands you roughly a 900-mile-per-hour head start toward orbit. Aim over the Atlantic and, if something goes wrong, debris splashes into water instead of neighborhoods. This slim coastal strip, guarded by range safety officers and radar, became the Eastern Range. Pad 39, where Apollo thundered, then the shuttle, and now Crew Dragon and Falcon Heavy light the night like a second sunrise. Every American who has left Earth has risen from this shore, with ospreys watching from light poles and salt spray on the gantry. This matters because Florida is not just beaches. It is the front door to space, chosen by math, hardened by engineering, and serenaded by pelicans. 2. The war that never ended. The United States fought 3 wars against the Seminole people in the 1800s. The Second Seminole War dragged from 1835 to 1842, a guerrilla fight across swamps. It cost the federal government more than the Louisiana Purchase. Soldiers bogged down in water up to their waists, boots rotting, muskets misfiring in rain, as leaders like Osceola turned the landscape into a weapon. There was no surrender, no treaty, just exhaustion. Families who refused to be removed disappeared deeper into the Everglades, raising villages on tree islands. The Seminole tribe of Florida survived and still operates as a sovereign nation, joined by the Miccosukee. Motto: never defeated. History here refuses to be tidy. 1. The woman who saved the River of Grass. In 1947, a Miami writer with a sharp voice and a sharper hat published The Everglades River of Grass and flipped a useless swamp into a national treasure. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, small as a sparrow and tough as a mangrove root, named what the map had missed. The Everglades is a slow, shallow river, 60 miles wide and only inches deep, flowing from Lake Okeechobee to Florida Bay. At 79, she founded Friends of the Everglades to fight a city-sized jetport proposed in Big Cypress that would have paved a generation's future. She testified into her hundreds, scolded officials half her age, and wielded words like chisels. "Be a nuisance where it counts," she liked to say. She earned the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1993 and passed at 108, still a thorn, still a guide. This matters because one voice armed with truth and grit can redraw a mental map and make a nation see water not as waste but as lifeblood. Florida is not a punchline, it is a paradox. A spring that births mermaids and a laboratory where crocodiles meet alligators. Thunderheads that stack to the stratosphere and a building where clouds once formed indoors. Rockets that ride Earth's spin and a people who would not be spun off their land. A woman who turned a swamp into a river. Which one blew your mind? And what should we count down next? Subscribe now to never miss unbelievable facts.